Guys, how's it going? Welcome back. So this is my LiteHawk charger RC boat. Now this is one that's been out in the market for a while. It's 2.4 gigahertz, 2 channels of course, no reverse. It would have been great if they would have put reverse into this one and the new Challenger, because reverse would come in kind of handy. Even if it's just like a single speed slow reverse, definitely be a plus. But hey, now what I've done here is a couple of little mods. Basically one major mod, but I've taken the Dean's connector off the original stock battery, which I'm going to show you. Now the stock battery is a nickel methyl hydrate pack at 7.2 volts, and it's 1100 milliamps, and it's a 6 cell nickel methyl hydrate pack. Now it goes just on the one side of the boat. This boat from the factory is a circuit boat, so it's going to turn left better than it's going to turn right. And it's not going to really matter too much how you set the back rudder up. As long as it's set up as a circuit boat, you're going to have an issue with turning right. So there's two ways around this. First way is leave the original battery in. The boat is designed to go just over 25 kilometers per hour, so you can do your Google conversion to miles per hour. It's decently quick. Brand new at the source here in Canada, they sell them for like 90 bucks. So, and it is a pretty good deal for an entry-level hobby type boat. And it's entry hobby. It's not hobby per se, pro level, it's beginner hobby. You have full parts support from LiteHawk, with like they do have with all their products, which is nice. You have some adjustabilities on the tail. The servo is not adjustable. They didn't allow for that, but they did allow for adjustment on the tail itself. Now from the factory, the rudder is set in the middle, so it's actually really good, like I said, for left turns. Not so great for right-hand turning because of that weight of that battery on that one side. It's really hard for it to pull that back up and over and do a really nice right-hand turn. So, and it is, like I said, set up as a circuit boat. The LiteHawk Challenger that just came up is more of a racer type boat. A friend of mine got one, and we took it and this one out today, and it clips along pretty nice, that Challenger. This one also clips along nice. Now, I ran it the other day. I'm not going to do a video of it in stock form because there's already videos of that already. And there's one guy I seen, he really juiced his up. I don't know what he did, but it really screams. But my first modification I did was I took a couple of these single cell 3.7 volt lithium packs, and they're about 800 milliamps a piece. No, sorry, 600 milliamp a piece. So that gives me 100 milliamp more than the stock battery. It took a lot of weight off the boat. The boat sat higher in the water, which also sped up the boat a little bit. Not a whole ton though. But this brushed motor that's in this one, because the Challenger is brushless, this is a brushed motor. Brushed motors chew up a lot of amperage. So if I can give it more amps, I'm going to get it to run full speed without it drawing too many amps, and I'm going to increase my playtime. So what I've done now for my second mod up is I've taken two batteries. These are out of helicopters. They're 7.4 volts each, and they're at 1100 milliamps each. So, and they're each a 2 cell. Now these are lithium ion batteries. They're not lipos, so they're a little heavier than a lipo battery would be as a 2 cell. Here's a 2 cell lipo pack, which is very small and very lightweight in comparison. And this is actually 1000 milliamp. But I don't have two of them that are good, so I'm going to end up changing this eventually. But I wanted to see how this was going to work. Now I did do a buoyancy test so far on this. Just in the bathtub, filled it up with water, sat it in there, made sure it's going to sit level. Ran it a little bit, you know, back and forth, see what kind of takeoff torque I have. We definitely got a lot of improvement over those single cells. So, and having that 2300 milliamps now, the engine's going to get the whole 1100 to itself, plus extra in reserve, which is going to kick that motor really nice. And of course our playtime is going to go up as well. Now with just the single cell batteries that I use, the lipos, and comparing them against this big heavy nickel methyl hydrate, we're getting about 10 minutes of playtime no matter which way we go. Now, with this running now as a racer instead of a circuit boat, and running your control arm from your servo to the far inside here where it is, this is going to allow for some very nice sharp turns compared to the wider turns. If you move the bar all the way to the end, it actually reduces the amount that you're going to be able to turn. So I wanted the maximum turning capability, so I had to move it all the way to the inside. Now, the way I've also set these batteries up too is they are velcroed inside, and it's about 3/4 of an inch to almost an inch before the very back end where the normal battery would sit for weight. So it takes a little bit of weight off the back end. So she's going to plane out a little bit better, which means it's going to steer a little bit better when it's full blast. So it's not going to skip around a corner type of thing. And it is a catamaran, so it's stable either way. The weight, though, of these two batteries combined is still less weight than this thing. Not by a lot, but it's just enough that it's going to help reduce a bit of weight, which is going to also bring up the speed as well. Now, how this is all connected, I took some other helicopter connectors that I had and did some fancy soldering here, and so these can be unplugged independently now. So now the batteries can come out separately. Each battery goes on its own charger, so each battery will get charged properly. Okay, the way I did this other system up here with these ones, I had to take two chargers, combine them together to double the voltage because they were 3.7s in order to charge both of these at the same time because they weren't an independent setup. And that still only takes an hour to recharge these two here, whereas these lithium ions, it's 3 hours each. So, you know, and generally with one lithium ion battery at 1100 milliamps in a helicopter, you're going to get about 8 to 10 minutes. So I should get better than 20 minutes playtime with both of them in here. And of course I'm getting that extra amperage as well. And I didn't double the voltage because I would have fried my ECS. So the way you wire these is pretty simple like this: positive, positive, negative, negative. And that's how the batteries plug in. So that keeps your voltage the same 7.2 or 7.4 volts, which is another difference. This is 7.2 volt. These are 7.4 volts, which is kind of, it's still okay. It's only like 0.2 of a volt a side difference. So it's not going to hurt anything in our ECS at all or our motor. So we'll plug these in. Now, even if you forget to turn your transmitter on first, doesn't matter. You can hit the bind button, which is where it says bind. There's that little red tag here. You just press that and it'll rebind your transmitter. But we're going to turn the transmitter on first, and then we're going to plug this in. And the light's already green, so we're already bound. So what we got to do is we'll get this stuff rooted in here the way it's got to sit, because we don't want anything jamming up against our servo or anything else. We're going to have to fish this stuff down here. And we'll put our lid back on. Now, as for our steering that we have, I'll just make sure this is sitting on here right, and I'll zoom in on the steering area here. So now we got a good swing in both directions for our steering, which is going to be nice and bonus. Now, I ran this same setup with the steering today because I'd already pre-done this, of course, and the boat does steer a lot nicer when you go to that inside. But this is not going to be a good setup if you're circuit running the boat with a stock battery just on the one side, because you're going to have too much lean over, which will probably end up flipping the boat. I haven't tried it, but pretty good feeling with that kind of a turning radius that's way more than stock setup. You're probably going to flip it, but with this setup, it does not flip the boat, which is really nice. And of course, it is digital speed control. And that's full blast. That puts out a lot of wind. Now I can hold my hand here, and it's you can feel it. And even if you're moving your rudder, you're not losing any speed off the prop at all. Because now there's a ton of amperage there to keep everything running right peaked out. So you're not losing any kind of energy by turning at the same time as going forward. In slow mode, let's see, that's about as slow as this prop's going to go. And that actually cruises along the water quite nice at a very slow clip. You can increase. And full blast. So pretty respectable power. Lots of juice now. Like I said, I did a buoyancy test in the bathtub because the lake's a little far away and it's nighttime. But it sits nice in the water. It's just below the line in here. So this thing should kick up and really boogie. Especially with these batteries in here now, because there's a lot more amperage here, and you know, we've got that good solid voltage as well between the two batteries. So it should kick out really well now. So that's our mod so far. Now once the ice is off the lake enough, we'll do a video of it and show you how it runs off in the lake. And you can compare it against, you know, the factory video that LiteHawk does and other people that have driven this thing, and really compare the speed differences. This thing's not going to be anywhere near as fast as the other video I seen, where he probably put a brushless motor in it and a few other things, but did a really nice job. So it is a moddable boat is the bottom line. You know, it's entry level, beginner, hobby class stuff. You know, you've got the part support to back you. You know, I mean, you can even buy a whole hull if you needed to. You know, so it's not a big issue there, you know. But it is built very tough, which is nice. And it is a water resistant top. It's not waterproof, but it is water resistant, and it keeps the water out of there pretty good. I found a couple little droplets inside here and there, which that's fine. It's water resistant. I want to see if I can come up with a better plan for this little brass screw, because it can be a little snaky, but that's our power mod anyways. And like I said, as soon as we can get back out to the lake, we'll shoot a video with these mods being done, and let us know what you think then. But that's where I've gotten with this thing so far, and I'm really happy with it. You know, for a first boat for me, you know, and I'm definitely going to upgrade into probably the Challenger will be the next boat I upgrade into, because now that I've actually seen it running in real life and not just on a video, I'm pretty impressed with that boat. And of course, it's already a brushless system, 11.1 LiPo, you know, that sort of stuff. You know, and it's a neat boat. So I'm really looking forward to whenever I can pick one of them up and have a lot of fun too. In case you're wondering, the range that this boat is set for, according to LiteHawk, is around 100 feet. I think it can go a little bit further than 100 feet, but I'm going to try that in the summertime when I can actually swim after the boat if I lose it. And I'll have to find a way to pace that out, because damn, the lake gets deep quick. But anyways, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments, and we'll see you on the next one, guys.